Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm putting together tonight is, in my opinion, a bombshell of some information that I'm very surprised, and at the same time not surprised, that it's not all over the mainstream media and people talking about it more since the story came out yesterday. And it just seems not to be floating around the airwaves as much as it should, especially since it's coming out of New York, okay, my hometown, and it just seems ever since Trump, okay, was elected president, then now Eric Adams and Kathy Hochul are looking to play ball with Trump when it comes to deporting illegal migrants. So what came out, okay, is something that I found very shocking, and I just started going down the rabbit hole a little bit and found some information, and I'm just wondering, and I hope that after everyone sees this video that you'll pass it around, especially to everyone in New York, and people start questioning why exactly, okay, did Eric Adams and Kathy Hochul start turning the tides on how they feel about the influx of illegal migrants. Okay, now, not trying to put too much detail into it, because when you see the videos, you'll understand. I'll put my comments in it, but I want everybody to watch this video with an open mind. Okay, this whole illegal migrant situation, I've been saying it for the longest, and a lot of people have been saying it, that this is something that has two parts to it, okay, and probably more parts than that. Number one, I feel that it's a way to change the demographics of the country, and number two, and I've been saying it a lot, I've said it in my videos referring to the illegal migrants that are flooding Chicago, Colorado, other places, is that this whole thing is a big money laundering scheme. Okay? Now, like I said, I'm going to play these videos, I'm going to talk through it, and I just want everybody to pay attention, okay? And just try to see what I'm seeing. Anybody that knows my channel, like I always said, I think way outside the box, okay? Way outside the box. So we're going to get into this, but before we do, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and pass the channel around. And I want to thank all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So with all that being said, let's go back in time a little bit, about a year, when this report came out about Kathy Hochul. Here we go.
Hochul announces a new plan to provide jobs for asylum seekers, saying getting them work means fewer people will need shelter. CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer joins us live from the newsroom with the very latest on this. Marcia?
Well, Mary, Governor Hochul says the program will be a double whammy for New York, solving two issues: employers who need workers and asylum seekers who need jobs.
They came to work, so let's put them to work.
Determined to find jobs for the Venezuelan asylum seekers who can now get work permits through the federal government's Temporary Protected Status Program, TPS, Governor Hochul says she has identified 400 employers throughout New York who have 18,000 jobs that are available. She said the jobs accessible through a new portal run by the State Department of Labor are in a wide range of fields: 25% in hospitality, 21% health and social services, 10% manufacturing, 5% retail, 5% construction.
Tomorrow, the window opens for people to start applying for TPS.
Once the migrants apply for TPS, they can start working in 30 days.
That can help solve our problems, at least be a start toward reducing the number of people who need shelter in our city.
Of course, the governor was careful to point out that getting jobs for Venezuelans is just the start of helping to get people into the workforce.
I am hopeful and continue to press Washington and Congress to open up those work authorizations to more people, because again, the Venezuelans is a good start, but it's not going to take care of the people who come in from Mauritania and Congo and other parts of South America and Central America, West Africa. We have people from Iraq and Afghanistan coming, from Russia are coming, because everyone's finding their ways to that southern border.
And on Face the Nation, the governor called on President Biden to limit the number of people coming into the country.
It is too open right now. People coming from all over the world are finding their way through, simply saying they need asylum, and the majority of them seem to be ending up in the streets of New York, and that is a real problem for New York City. Well,
okay, I'm going to stop it there. Now, you heard a couple of key things, okay? I'm just going to blurt them out real quick. There is a lot to unpack on this, okay? So I want everybody to stay with me on this, okay? Now, she said about all the jobs that they're going to be offering, and she mentioned the number 18,000 that they're going to put to work, okay? Where everybody knows that the estimates are of the illegals coming into New York are in the tens of thousands, okay? For sake of time, I just wanted to put a couple of video clips together, but there's one that I didn't grab because it's a little long, but you can look it up. Where Eric Adams says, okay, he changed the script on that not too long ago, I'd say about 9 months ago, or whatever the case is, about a year ago, okay, saying that about 60,000 migrants that have entered New York, okay, do not qualify when it comes to getting a work permit, okay? As a matter of fact, the estimate that he put of people able to get a work permit was only about 9,800. He said of eligible men or women that are going to be allowed to work. So now you got tens of thousands of people, men, women, and children, that would not qualify, okay, for any kind of assistance, any kind of work permits, nothing like that. Okay, so keep that in mind, people, and stay with me. Stay with me, okay? So you got Kathy Hochul saying one thing a year ago. Now she's flipping the script, saying that she is going to do what she can to help Trump get rid of all the illegals. Same thing goes with Adams. At first he was like, everybody come on in, give us money, we're going to help out the illegals, we're going to cut funding from New York City taxpayer services, okay? I did a video on that, sanitation, police department, you name it. I mean, they were doing it. While the whole time, taking money, hundreds of millions of dollars, okay, and opening up different places to house illegals, give them money, food stamps, debit cards, the whole 9 yards, okay? But now stay with me, because something particular came up with this that I was just like, wait a minute, how come nobody is putting these two things together, okay? So now we're going to fast forward a little bit, okay? Let me get to the next video and I'll start from there. Here we go. Okay, now this report came out 2 months ago. And if anybody remembers what's going on, that whole scandal with Eric Adams saying that he was in some type of bribery fraud scheme, okay, with Turkey, which a lot of people, you know, are very curious about what that's all about. But supposedly it's been going on for a while now, okay? And people are saying that now he's playing ball with Trump because he's trying to get a favor. So this whole bribery scheme conviction, or whatever the case is, or it's going to be, disappears. Okay. Now I told you a few minutes ago that this whole immigration thing, okay, it's, you know, it's a couple of things, you know, but one of the things are, in my opinion, is a money laundering scheme. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to play this clip. I want you guys to pay attention to what this man has to say about what's going on, because last I checked, this whole situation that Adams is being accused of, this bribery or whatever the case is, it hasn't gotten away. Okay, it's not gone, it's just quiet. Okay, so pay attention, check this out.
The conduct alleged in the indictment, the foreign money, the corporate money, the bribery, the years of concealment, is a grave breach of the public's trust.
Federal prosecutors charged New York City Mayor Eric Adams with bribery, wire fraud, conspiracy, and accepting illegal campaign contributions on Thursday. Manhattan's top federal prosecutor, Damian Williams, detailed a years-long scheme alleging Adams received improper valuable benefits from Turkish nationals in exchange for pressuring city officials to allow Turkey's new consulate to open despite safety concerns.
The mayor sought and accepted well over $100,000 in luxury travel benefits from some of the same foreign actors who arranged many of the illegal campaign contributions.
I will continue to do the job for 8.3 million New Yorkers that I was elected to do.
Adams said he would not step down at a news conference outside Gracie Mansion, the official residence of the mayor, which federal agents searched just hours earlier. Adams said he would fight the charges in court and denied any wrongdoing.
If it's campaign violations, I know I don't violate the campaign. That's right. If it's foreign donors, I know I don't take money from foreign donors. And I ask New Yorkers to wait to hear our defense before making any judgments.
Adams is New York City's first mayor to be criminally charged while in office. Prosecutors said he disguised campaign contributions from Turkish sources by funneling it through U.S. citizens. Those funds allowed Adams to qualify for an additional $10 million in public financing. Turkey's foreign ministry had no immediate comment.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, now supposedly this whole thing that's been going on, okay, you everybody heard that. You heard from the reporter, okay, that this is something that they're going back. Okay, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, who knows? Okay, who knows? Now, with everything that was said, people can say, well, you know, maybe it is a bribery scheme, okay? But, like, what exactly did he do? Okay? Now, sometimes it's not just, you have to understand one thing when it comes to money laundering. If anybody knows about money laundering, okay, it just doesn't go from one hand to the next, okay? It'll go between 3, 4, 5, 10 different hands before any money comes back to you. The money's clean. There's so that the paper trail, I should say, I'm just going to use that term loosely, is so long that people that are investigating it, unless they really, really, really want information, they're not going to waste their time because the paper trail is too long. Okay, and it also depends on whose name is on those pieces of paper. It could be from a government official all the way down to, like, let's just say some no-name janitor. Okay, keep that in mind. It could be somebody that owns a laundromat. It could just be anything. As long as that money keeps moving. Okay, that's why they have to do it so big. Nobody launders money for $10,000. Okay, if you're going to launder money and you have a big name in society, rest assured it's going to be for hundreds of millions of dollars, because by the time all that money is funneled through, you're going to get a chunk, but it's not going to look as big, okay, as the initial amount of money that's being used. I hope everybody's with me, okay? Now, all this video that I'm putting together, this is just my opinion, okay? But like I always said, when it comes to the Democrats, okay, they know how to eat themselves and contradict themselves. Now, it may be nothing. We'll find out at the end of the video, okay? You people leave comments. Like I said, have an open mind, okay? But then this came out yesterday. The next video clip I'm going to show you, okay? But that's not going to be the whole, how can I say? That's not going to be the screw that tied everything together for me to think about this outside the box. There's something else I'm going to show you right after the next video, so stay with me, people. Here we go.
We are now getting a fresh new glimpse at the massive amount of cash sanctuary cities have soaked up on people who are not American citizens. Both Denver and New York City are spending hundreds of millions of U.S. taxpayer dollars. So the citizens are paying all that money for people who are not citizens. And you won't believe where some of the money is going. New York City effectively paid $220 million to Pakistan in order to rent the Roosevelt Hotel as a full-time shelter.
Did you guys hear that? New York City paid the Pakistani government, who owns the Roosevelt Hotel that has been shut down, mind you. And that was one of the arguments that a lot of people in New York had, that how do you have all these hotels shut down, but all because you don't have the money to keep them open? Nobody said that Pakistan's government owned the Roosevelt Hotel. You staying with me, people? It gets good. Okay? But then all of a sudden, they found money to reopen the hotel, house migrants, illegal migrants. Okay? This was last year. Anybody see the timeline getting a little closer to each other? It gets better. Like I said, stay with me. So now, not only did Adams, okay, it was Mayor Johnson, Adams, I believe the governor of Colorado, if anybody remembers, because I did a video on it, they all got together and went to Biden. If you remember, they had a meeting. They went to Washington to try to ask Biden for help. Okay? And then somewhere along that meeting, or somewhere right after that meeting, I should say, the whole scandal, okay, with Adams getting money from Turkey, okay, or contributions or whatever the case is, where the federal government had to interfere, okay, and start, going into, like his dealings, and said that he was being bribed or whatever the case is. Stay with me, people. Stay with me with this, okay? Because it gets good. Let's listen to some more. Here we go.
For people who were not citizens, who many of them came across our border illegally, but they're here. Vivek Ramaswamy is going after this with this quote. A taxpayer-funded hotel for illegal immigrants is owned by the Pakistani government, which means NYC taxpayers are effectively paying a foreign government to house illegals in our own country. This is nuts, end quote. Now let's just go on over to the sanctuary city of Denver. According to one nonpartisan research report, the city has spent more than $356 million on its migrant response since December of 2020.
Now, I'm going to point something out. Okay, people? Now, it may be nothing, like I said. I just seen all this and I was like, wait a minute. What will be the odds? But I'll get to that. I'm going to point one thing out right here. Remember this date right here. December 2022. Okay? Denver has spent, since it says millions spent on caring for Denver migrants since December 2022. Keep that date in mind. Here we go.
22. That comes out to nearly $8,000 per migrant and 8% of the city's total budget. Now, that word migrant is not synonymous with illegal immigrant. And when you look at the percentages of people who came here either illegally or really do need to leave for crimes they're still committing, that's a big chunk. 356 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot of money. There's a formula here, and let's put it very simply. You are an American citizen. You go to your job. You work 9 to 5. Maybe you work 2 jobs. Maybe you work more than 40 hours a week. Then you hand over this lump sum of cash to the federal government. If you're in a blue state like here in New York, you hand it over to the state government and to the city government. And then how confounding is it to you that you learn your money went to a foreign country?
Okay, remember what I said before about laundering? Let me rewind what she just said. Okay? Listen again.
Government, if you're in a blue state like here in New York.
I'm sorry, let me go back just a little bit. Hold on. Stay with me.
You go to your job. You work 9 to 5. Maybe you work 2 jobs. Maybe you work more than 40 hours a week. Then you hand over this lump sum of cash to the federal government if you're in a blue state like here in New York.
To the federal government, you take your taxpayer money. Okay, this is where the laundering starts. You pay all that tax money, it goes to the federal government, i.e. Joe Biden. Okay? Then they let in the migrants. They put them in the blue cities. The blue cities take their taxpayer money, use that for the migrants, then they go back to the federal government and get more taxpayer money. Check this out.
You hand it over to the state government and to the city government. And then how confound...
State government, city government. If anybody is from New York or from these blue cities and states, okay, I'm from New York, when you get taxed, you get state tax, federal tax, local tax, FICA tax, everything is a damn tax. All this money is being pulled from the people. And then they distribute it all to the federal government, and then the government takes that and starts splitting it around. That's how laundering goes. It just goes on and on and on. But at some point, it does come back. Not to us, not the ones where it started from. It goes back into the people that caused the problem. Are you with me? Let's go.
Is it to you that you learn your money went to a foreign country
Pakistan.
to house foreigners who are illegal immigrants who came in illegally? Oh, wait, but there's more. The cherry on top of all of this, and it's not a cherry, it's a huge, huge problem. Laken Riley murder suspect received taxpayer-funded stay at Roosevelt Hotel. So you funded Jose Ibarra, a murderer, to stay in a luxury hotel before he killed a 22-year-old in Georgia who should still be with us here today. That's how it works.
Okay, now you heard that. I'm still going to play the rest. Okay, I know you're all thinking, what does the money, what's going on with the money going into Pakistan? And people may say, well, with Eric Adams, he's into those kind of dealings because he was trying to help Turkey open up their consulate, okay? And that's how the bribery started coming. So he's being investigated for that, which goes back way more than a year. Okay, like I said, keep that date in mind. December of 2022. Even though it was in Denver, but if you look at the correlation between Denver and New York, okay, look at how they are handling taxpayer money, okay, and all it has become is nothing but scandal with the criminals, with the gangs, with all the crime that's going on, but all this money, hundreds of millions of dollars, so they say. In my opinion, it's more like billions, but I'll digress on that. So now, not only, okay, are they taking money back, okay, they're actually using money, taxpayer money, to house the illegals that are committing crimes, the criminals, and then letting them loose, like they did with Laken Riley's murderer, because he was let loose from New York and made his way to Georgia, okay, where he went and did his dirt. But that's not the whole crux of the story the whole crux of the meaning of why I'm putting this together. I'm gonna let you guys know, but just stay with me, listen to some more.
And we know, post that trial just a couple of weeks ago, that he and his brother were members of that Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. So if you want to hook up with your homies from south of the border who want to kill people, run cartel drugs, do all the thing, I guess you go to the hotel that Pakistan owns at the Roosevelt and then have American taxpayers pay for your stay.
Yep. You know what else is crazy, too? A big chunk of federal money was handed out by the Biden administration to a lot of states. In fact, I think that's one of the reasons earlier this year you started seeing states on the jobs reports doing better than expected. Like, oh, the jobs reports were great. All that money was designed to be spent specifically for things like to fatten up the jobs report or these sort of programs. But think about that tweet that Vivek retweeted, that X post. In conjunction with the International Monetary Fund, a $1.1 billion loan to Pakistan. Wait a minute. We're putting Americans at risk to put money into the pockets of the International Monetary Fund, which, by the way, lends money to these third world nations at rates that the mafia would blush at, right? I mean, you talk about...
And not only that, if anybody remembers, Trump had to go and try to eliminate ISIS. Okay, ISIS was big in Turkey. Okay, if I'm correct on that, they were all over the place. But also, Trump was putting up policies to not let certain people in from certain countries. Okay, because of their terrorist ways. Okay, people were saying that if he didn't want anybody coming in from Yemen or Pakistan or wherever, that he was a racist. But there was reasons why Trump was putting policies on not letting people in from certain countries. Okay? But yet, you have Biden and them giving Pakistan, what do you say, $1.something billion? And then you got Eric Adams, okay, having some, what they're saying, some bribery scandal with officials in Turkey. Okay? I'm going to put it all together. Here we go.
About the establishment, the international cartel of establishment holding everyone back and manipulating everything. This is nuts that your taxpayer money is going through all of these sort of things to deceive us and put us in harm at the same time. It's
exactly
crazy.
I told you he was leaning in.
Okay, and I'm going to end it there because they make a couple of, jokes and stuff like that. So now, here we go. Okay? So now you have Biden leaving the border wide open to let in all these illegals and a lot of criminals come in from other countries, mainly from Venezuela. Okay? They have a meeting, okay? Eric Adams, Brandon Johnson, the mayor or the governor of Colorado, they supposedly went to the White House, but supposedly, I think the story went that Adams, it was either that he went there and after he came back from the White House, that whole scandal with Turkey came out, or that it broke before he was supposed to go to the White House. Okay? And that's neither here nor there, none of that information. Okay? So as I'm looking at this, I'm like, what, like, if I had to look at this from the outside in, like I am, I'm like, what does the Biden administration, okay, and New York City's political officials, what compels them to go and give a foreign, entity like Pakistan all this money instead of just closing the border? Because you would think if you're running a country, and even though a foreign government, not somebody from Pakistan, supposedly it's a foreign government. It is the government of Pakistan that owns the Roosevelt Hotel. Okay? It's not just some billionaire from Pakistan. No, it's the government. And some people may look at this and say, well, you know what? Well, obviously, he's probably getting a kickback. And you know what? If that's what you're thinking, you're probably right. You're probably absolutely right. But then you have to go back and say, okay, so then, it's kind of messed up that that Eric Adams, if it's true, that he is dealing with another foreign government, Turkey. Okay? And he's taking bribes because he's trying to help them open up the consulate. Even though, supposedly it can't be opened up for whatever reason. Who knows? Okay? You can't really believe every single detail that the news puts out. So then I started thinking about it. I was like, is there a possibility that maybe the two are actually one? Maybe all this ties in to one, changing the demographics of America, and money. Okay? So I did a little bit of research. I'm going to minimize this so you guys can check this out. And it says, close friendship and brotherhood. Pakistan and Turkey have a long-standing relationship based on close friendship and brotherhood. Diplomatic relations were established in 1947, with Turkey being among the first countries to recognize Pakistan after its creation. 2022 marks the 75th anniversary of their diplomatic ties. And I'm like, wow. So, you have the Biden administration giving Pakistan money, funding New York City to pay for illegals to come in and stay in their hotel, so all that money goes to a foreign government, while Eric Adams is playing the other side, not playing the other side. Basically, you have Adams and Biden working with two brothers. Close friendship and brotherhood. Think about that. I mean, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just one of those 1 in a billion, gazillion, trillion coincidence. Okay? That this just happens to look bad. I said many times that this was a money laundering scheme. Okay? Because if you look at the money that's being dished out, How can anybody say that what they're paying for to house these illegal migrants costs so much? Because they boost everything up. Every entity that is part of this, if it's the people that own the hotels, the people making the food that's delivering it to them, the people that are working at all these facilities, all that money. That's why it's in the hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, because the big bulk of it is going to foreign governments like Pakistan, and then all the little crumbs start coming down and everybody starts getting paid. All on taxpayer money and American and also immigrant blood. Isn't it ironic that all of a sudden Eric Adams wants to play ball with Trump, that Kathy Hochul wants to play ball with Trump? Their whole argument was that they were trying to get all these illegals jobs, but you heard Kathy Hochul say that they needed about 18,000 work permits. But Eric Adams, like I said, look up the video. I didn't clip that piece in because for sake of time. Says that the amount of jobs that they're going to be able to fill, or the amount of job permits they're going to be able to give away, it's only about 9,800. Okay. Meanwhile, there are tens of thousands of illegals in New York. This wasn't about trying to give them asylum. This was about money. And which better way to try to launder that money instead of laundering it with the small businesses in America is transfer it out to government entities. Because now you got Biden giving Pakistan 1-point-something billion. New York paying Pakistan $220 million to use their hotel, while Eric Adams is trying to push for Turkey to open up their consulate. Yep. Now, like I said, if I'm thinking way outside the box, if I'm overreaching, because I know a lot of lefties are going to say that. Oh, you got a nothing burger. Really? But meanwhile, okay, Trump makes one comment, okay, about a particular rally where he said there was good people on both sides, meaning that not everybody that came from both sides went to that rally to look for trouble, even though some bad people did show up. Those were the ones that he denounces. And nope, he knew from the get, it's all tied together, they're all in on it. No way, they're a bunch of racists, they're this. He's going to destroy the country. He only cares to line the pockets of millionaires and billionaires. He's in cahoots with Russia, with China, with everybody and their mother. But yet Biden gave Pakistan, what, $1-point-something billion? Okay. Eric Adams is schmoozing with people in Turkey. And people say, well, what does Kathy Hochul got to do with this? Are you kidding me? You don't think that woman knows? Did anybody forget that she's above Adams? She is the governor. Why didn't, when the governor of Chicago spoke to Biden, the mayor of Chicago spoke to Biden, the governor of Colorado spoke to Biden, and supposedly the mayor of Colorado, of one of the counties in Colorado, spoke to Biden. Why didn't Kathy Hochul and Eric Adams both go to speak to Biden? Why just Adams? And then the whole scandal starts coming out that he's in cahoots with doing some shady business dealings in Turkey. While the whole time, the Biden administration is giving money to Pakistan and helping New York fund to get more money to pay Pakistan more damn money for using one of their hotels. And then Biden left Sunday, I believe it was, to Africa, where there's oil. Just saying. It's my opinion. I don't know. Could be nothing. Could be nothing. But before I close it out, I just want to say I was supposed to make another video. Renaissance Man put out some important information about what's going on with the algorithm to YouTube, and I think that I'm probably falling victim to that. I'm going to try to drop that video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But something about if you're a content creator and you put out 3 videos or more, after the 3rd video, nobody's getting notifications. He's having the same problem of people being unsubscribed, not getting notifications. I reached out to him on a comment, told him that I was going to drop that info. He sent me a thumbs up and a heart. So I'm going to try to put that together. So I'm asking everyone, check your subscription. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure your notifications up. If you don't hear anything, just check with the channel every day, because I've been noticing that I'm getting less and less views for some odd reason. And my content, as far as it being pushed out, I'm noticing a decline on them pushing out the video, which makes me wonder. It's either ruffling some feathers, okay, which that's not my intention. My intention is to spread awareness, or I don't know. Maybe my content's not good enough. You people tell me. Okay? It'd be nice if I could do this full time because my content's good enough. I don't know. I know some people may say don't beat myself up, but, you know, sometimes you got to think about it that way. But anyway, folks, this is something for people to think about when it comes to what's going on with all these illegals coming in and all this money being spent. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women and the children, pray for your enemies, pray for this country, and pray for Donald Trump. Peace.